Hello everyone, my name is Robert, and today I'll be speaking about the transition from analog to digital broadcasting. Let's take a look at the broadcasting signals. Analog signal is a continuous wave signal used to broadcast to analog radios and TVs, which provides a truer version of the original recording along the AM and FM frequency. Analog radios and televisions can pick up interference from other transmission stations, which result in the crackling hiss that is heard often in the background. Digital signal is the transmission of data as bits of information called notes that is written just as computer data is written. Digital signal is composed of zeros and ones, which means that the viewer will have outstanding reception or none at all. Now let's take a look at analog broadcasting. Standard analog reception receivers were top quality technology during the period before the discovery of digital signals and broadcasting. Therefore, analog broadcasting was the only broadcasting being done at that period. John Logie Baird was the inventor of the first picture in 1924. Between 1929 and 1937, his televising techniques were used by the British Broadcasting Corporation. Columbus Communication provided Jamaica and other Caribbean countries with the analog television service before it was bought by Flow in 2014, at which Flow started multicasting in 2015. Columbus Communications provided Jamaica and a number of other Caribbean countries with analog service between the early 60s and the early 2000s. Now let's take a look at simulcasting. After the discovery of digital signal and the creation of digital devices and broadcasting stations around the globe began to simulcast. As this transmission continued, improvements were made to digital technology that resulted in digital broadcasting becoming more convenient. Now let's take a look at digital broadcasting. On February 2009, the FCC required all U.S. high-powered analog television stations to turn off their signals and move to digital only. Therefore, the U.S. made the transition from analog to digital broadcasting, making digital broadcasting the main type of broadcasting. Other countries followed some time after in making this transition. There are also a number of countries that are on the brink of making this transition. Flow Jamaica started digital broadcasting in 2015 after it bought Columbus Communications in 2014. However, Flow still multicasts using both analog and digital signals. Now let's take a look at the transition from analog to digital phone. Analog lines are referred to as POTS or plain old telephone service that supports standard phones, fax machines, and modems. The first analog phone was made by the Italian inventor Antonio Musi in 1849. Alexander Graham Bell won the first U.S. patent for the device in 1876. The first Symbian phone is the Ericsson R380 that was released in the year 2000 and was the first device to be marketed as a smartphone. Now let's take a look at the transition from analog to digital radio. The first analog device to transmit radio frequency came about between Nikola Tesla, an American inventor, and Marconi, an Italian inventor. Jamaica's first commercial radio broadcast occurred on July the 9th, 1939, when Radio Jamaica Limited began broadcasting across the island with its first station being ZP5PZ. However, official broadcasting began in the year 1950. Details of the inventor or the first digital radio is uncertain at this time. Okay, so let's recap the topics that were covered. So far, I've looked at broadcasting signals, analog signal, digital signal, analog broadcasting, simulcasting, digital broadcasting, transition from analog to digital phone, and transition from analog to digital radio. And that's it for today. See you later.